Hello, everybody, and welcome to an episode of A Tip to Succeed. This is our new show where we'll be looking at FPL tips, but first of all, we'll be looking at Game Week 15 and we'll be making some predictions. On today's show, we've got Azad and we've got a new guest. His name is Peter. Peter, would you like to just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Peter. I'm a Chelsea fan, and reason why I'm in this podcast is thanks to Azad. So I've met Azad through work. So I've started a new role within the bank, and then as I was training, Azad was one of our guests just to get just to explain like about the new role and about the new feel and stuff. And then at one time I just reached out for him for help, and then one question led to like a massive conversation, and then led to like a whole load of phone calls because we realized that we had a lot in common. So yeah, so that was really good. And then after we found out that we are big massive football fans, and then once he told me about the UK Footy podcast, I was like, wow, I'm really enjoying this. And and then once he asked me, oh, would you like to be the special guest? I was not hesitant to say no. I was like, I would love to.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that. Obviously, everybody knows Azad by now. So we're going to crack on with a tip to succeed. And we're going to go to Peter straight away to give us his prediction for Leicester versus Man United.
So Man United, as we all know, they are flying away from home. So, they love to score goals left, right and centre when they're away. Leicester, on the other hand, they are a bit unpredictable. One game they could be quite sloppy, but at the same time, as we saw from last Sunday when they beat Spurs 2-0 away, so they can be full of surprises. But however, with Man United's away form, I don't see Leicester winning. So with that one, I could see it being another 3-2 win for Man United.
Okay, and Azad?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Pete, with Man United away from home, their form is absolutely, astonishing, especially when they go 1-0 down. They're like, right, we're going to get those 3 points now. It's like they need that, they need to concede that first goal to get going. But yeah, absolutely, I agree, Man United win as well, Pete.
Cool. So I'm not sure about this one. It's difficult, but I'm going to go for a draw here. And so, Azad, talk me through Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. What's your predictions for this?
Yeah, so I think with Villa, their game plan's really well. They've worked really well in the last couple of weeks. And grinding some results out. With Palace, they've just lost 7-0 to Liverpool. They're going to want to bounce back. But with Benteke, he could be back. So it'd be a different game plan for Palace, where he'd be bullying. He'd be up against Tyrone Mings. However, I think Aston Villa at home, they could just grind it out. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be win by an odd goal. I think I'm going to have to go for Villa win.
Okay, and Peter?
I agree with Azad. So Palace haven't won for the last 3 games, and Villa, on the other hand, have not conceded for the last 3 games. So with that being said, I can see Villa getting another clean sheet here. So I'm going to say a Villa win too.
All right, well, I'll throw a pigeon in the works. Cat amongst the pigeons even. I don't think Villa are going to get the victory here. And the reason why is because every team has that result where you're a bit like, what's gone on here? Palace are going to want to bounce back, and I think Roy will have them drilled. So I'm going to go for a draw. Fulham versus Southampton, so I'll lead on this one. I think Southampton have had a tricky run of fixtures. They've not really picked up many points. Fulham, on the other hand, Scotty Parker's got them playing quite well. They've been picking up draws against, Liverpool. That was probably a significant result for them in terms of their confidence and their morale. And I think more will come from Fulham. And I think this is going to be one of those really hard-fought wins for Fulham. So that's my prediction. Azad, what do you think?
I'm going to go opposite with you, Shad. I think you know, yes, Fulham have been starting to pick up some results, but Southampton, like I said last time out, they're really well organised, they're well structured, the players know what they're doing on the pitch. They gave Manchester City a running for their money. It's going to be a tough away game, especially at Craven Cottage. However, I think I'm going to have to go for a Southampton win here. I think Southampton will be just too strong for Fulham and very well organised.
And Peter?
Well, we know what Southampton can do, and we know what they are capable of when they play teams. It doesn't matter who it is. So I can see them doing well. However, with Fulham, they can score goals. They can score goals, especially Bobby Reed. And I can see him scoring in this game too. I'm going to say a draw.
I love it. 3 different predictions by the 3 people on the show. So, Peter, you get the fortunate task of talking about Arsenal versus Chelsea.
Now, as a Chelsea fan, these games like this, London derbies, doesn't matter what form you're in, doesn't matter whether you've lost 5 games in a row or won 5 games in a row, I'm still not confident with this as a Chelsea fan. I know Arsenal have been poor. I know they have been atrocious. However, I can still see Arsenal getting something out of it because as a Chelsea fan myself, I know that against games like this away from home, I always have this thought in my mind that they're not going to fully show up. I mean, if you look at last season, when we got the victory at the Emirates, we did not play well, but still we got the 3 points. Whereas at Stamford Bridge, Arsenal were off form, Chelsea were on form, but we still drew 2-2. So with that being said, I can still see the same happening. I could still see Arsenal getting something out of it. A draw for me.
Azad, just a quick prediction from you for this one.
I'm going to go for an Arsenal win. You know when Arsenal's going to explode, and this could be the game.
I can see that happening too.
Yeah, I definitely can't see that happening. So
call me pessimistic, but yeah,
I can't see that. I don't understand where you guys are seeing these performances from. They were awful midweek. The players are going to be tired. They look laggy. I can't see Aubameyang doing anything. I think Toni Kroos is starting to take the mick out of him. Did he celebrate that own goal a couple of weeks ago? Yeah, like Chelsea, Lampard. I've kept calling him the new Fraudiola, but I think they're just going to have too much, really. Like someone like Timo Werner, he's going to probably not score, but he'll probably just cause too much problems for Arsenal. They'll pick up a few yellow cards as well in that game. So if you've got any Arsenal defenders in FPL, don't pick them. Man City versus Newcastle. Azad, what do you reckon?
So Man City at the Etihad, they're going to be unstoppable against Newcastle. I can't see Newcastle even getting near their goal, although last couple of times out they've got the odd goal, but Man City have just been all over them. The Man City are going to be way too strong for Newcastle. I think, especially with Newcastle's unpredictability at the moment, although they won 2 of the last 5, they've lost 2 of the last 5 as well. I think Man City is going to be a Man City victory. I think it'll be a couple of goals, but it's not going to be by the odd. It'll probably be 3-0 Man City win if I do predict the result, but I'm going to go for a City result overall.
Peter?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to say that Newcastle could perform the same as West Brom, like just get something, but I don't see it happening at all. So same with Azad, I'm going to say a very comfortable Man City win.
Yeah, I'm not going to add anything. Man City as well for me. Oh, that means I get Sheffield United versus Everton. Woo! What a game. Not. So I think this one, Ancelotti's got his team playing now. Sheffield United are going to have problems breaking them down, but it's going to be a physical game. Everton, they're a big side, and I think this is going to be one of those like old school English Premier League games, tackles flying in. I'll tell you what I did like last week. Chris Wilder changed it around. When he saw his team wasn't performing, he took off Fleck and brought on Ollie Burke, I think it was. So he's trying things that are new. And you know what? I wouldn't actually be surprised if Sheffield United picked a draw. So I'm going to go for, saying all that, I'm going to go for an Everton win. I think both teams will score, but Everton are going to get the victory. Azad?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult under the likes of Bramall Lane, but without fans. It's going to be obviously different there. But I would have said with fans, Sheffield United win. even though they're struggling at the moment. But you know, Everton, don't forget they just played. They played last night, and they put full squad against United in the Carabao Cup. So they're going to have some heavy legs there. But Everton could scrape that odd win by the odd goal. So I'm going to go for an Everton win there.
Okay, Peter.
Yeah, I would say Everton win too. I would love to say that I could see Sheffield United getting something out of it, but based on their performances this season so far, I don't see that happening.
Cool. Okay, so who gets Leeds United versus Burnley? I think that's you, Peter.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Now, Shad, this is a tough one because you may think, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna know who's gonna win, but here's the thing: since Burnley played Man City and they lost 5-0, they had 4 games after. They've only conceded 2, but on the other hand, Leeds love to concede goals. But on the other hand, Leeds love to score goals. So, yeah, this one is a bit of a tough one, believe it or not. But I could see Bamford scoring a few goals. But even though Burnley have got a solid, so even though they've got a solid back four, during recent times, I could still see Leeds getting just a narrow win out of Burnley. No, actually, no. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I will say draw. I'll say draw. I could see Chris Wood. Yeah, I mean, I could see Chris Wood scoring like the equalising goal. So yeah, draw. It's a tough one, but I'm going to say draw.
Azad, what do you reckon?
I think it'd be a Burnley win. However, the reason I say this, I'm going to just pinpoint this. Burnley's got a defence that could soak up the pressure from Leeds, and Leeds is going to keep coming at Burnley. And I can see Burnley putting the ball over the top to Ashley Barnes or Chris Wood, and they're going to get a goal by it'll be a 1-0 victory. Burnley definitely.
Yes, I spoke about Ashley Barnes, and I think he's a quality striker. But I think Leeds play really well against teams that are of a similar caliber to them, and I think at home they'll have too much. So I'm going to go for a Leeds United victory here. West Ham United versus Brighton. What are you going to make for that, Azad Ali?
So West Ham just had a heavy defeat against Chelsea on Monday night, as Pete knows well. We were speaking about it that night, weren't we, Pete? Chelsea was just, I think the quality was just there. However, I have to say West Ham have never beaten Brighton in the last 5 attempts against Brighton in the Premier League. So I want to say a West Ham win. I can't see Brighton winning. I'm going to have to say West Ham's first victory against Brighton on Sunday. So absolutely, I'm going to go for West Ham.
Cool. Pia?
I'm going to say draw here simply because, as we know with West Ham, they are a strange team. I could see here that games like Brighton at home, they somehow either at home, they don't seem to get results when they play against teams like Brighton. So I would say draw there.
Interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to stick with just a West Ham United victory here. It's a different kettle of fish now, isn't it? They play, Potter's men play a certain style of football. West Ham play a certain style of football. And I think when you look at the two squads, yes, Sanchez coming in goal for Matt Ryan seems to have lifted Brighton a little bit, but yeah, West Ham will have too much for them. Liverpool versus West Brom. Azad. Actually, no, do you know what? This is one of mine, isn't it? Okay. Do you know what? F it. Azad, you tell me what you think. You loved a bit of Big Sam last week. What are you going to split this week?
Well, the only reason I said about Big Sam last week is because they were playing Aston Villa, local derby, or West Midlands derby. Sam Allardyce would have got the players up, but obviously Jake Livermore thought otherwise and said, I'm going to go get sent off and make sure my team loses the game. But I think Liverpool at home, they're going to be way too much for West Brom. I was speaking to a friend about this earlier, and he said that it's going to be a close game because Sam Allardyce will set the team up to defend against Liverpool. But you cannot defend against Liverpool. You cannot. So you have to attack fire for fire. And West Brom don't have that, especially if Ivanovic plays. Game over for West Bromwich. Liverpool victory all day long.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think I was reading up on Slavan Bilic and how it all went to pot for him, and I think they would have been okay if they hadn't sold Ahmed Hegazi. Does anybody remember him? The really tall.
I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
They sold him without
on fantasy once.
Yeah, no, he just it was a shame because Bilic wanted him to stay, but the board sold him without his knowledge. And I think ever since then, they've just gone. And yeah, it's tough. Like, you look at that West Brom squad, even if Allardyce is going to set that team, who's he going to use? Like, you look at that centre-back pairing, and you're just there like, they just don't have that Premier League quality. It's a shame. It's a shame because Allardyce will probably get a few players in Jan that will help. But right now, you know, they're playing with a championship squad in the Premier League. So obviously, I'm going to go for a Liverpool victory here. Peter?
You know, every time I look at this fixture, I always think back to Liverpool 2, West Brom 2, and then the whole Liverpool team started celebrating with the fans. That will always be hilarious. But do I see the same happening? Absolutely not, because Liverpool are flying. West Brom are just all over the place. Big Sam is going to take some time to get used to playing his team. So yeah, a really comfortable Liverpool win.
Nice, nice. And then, Peter, you have the honours of doing the final tip to succeed, Wolves versus Spurs.
Now, again, same with Southampton. We know what Wolves can be capable of. You know, they could surprise you. So as we saw, they've lost to Villa at home. They beat Chelsea at home. And with Spurs, they lost last week and they played last night. And even though that I didn't see the game, so I wasn't too sure what squad they played out. But again, like what Azad mentioned, some heavy legs there. However, I could see Wolves get something out of this too. I'm going to say a draw.
Interesting. Azad, we'll go to you next.
Yeah, Pete, I understand where you're coming from, but I think being Jose Mourinho, I saw the United squad against Everton, but I don't care about Tottenham. I know that Bale scored, but I can't imagine them putting their first team out. I'd have to double check that. So I think they have a fresh team out against Wolves. However, Wolves last time out at the Molineux put a good performance in against Chelsea and got the 3 points. But Chelsea, they're also rocky. They've gone for a rocky patch. So are Spurs. Spurs are a wounded animal at the moment. This could be the bounce back game. It'd be very difficult at the Molineux. Be very close. But I'm going to have to go for a Spurs win because I think they could grind out a result, you know.
Yeah, so from what Azad's saying, I've got the players that played last night, and they did rotate quite a bit. So Doherty came in, Davinson Sanchez played, Ben Davies started, Harry Winks played, Bale started, although apparently he's got a calf injury. He came off on the 45th minute. Dele Alli, I mean, Mourinho was slating him, but he did get 66 minutes, and Lucas Moura played. Harry Kane, however, did play 81 minutes, and it worries me that his fatigue starting to creep in. I've seen Harry Kane the last couple of game weeks. There's just something about him. He doesn't look right. Like, he doesn't look sharp. Some of the chances that he had, he might have buried it 5 or 6 game weeks ago, but yeah, it's a difficult one. I don't really know who they can play up top if they haven't got Harry Kane firing. And although I've got Son and Kane in my FPL team, I am going to go for a draw here as well. So that is the end of the predictions. What we will do now is go on to a new segment of the show, people, where we look at fantasy Premier League teams. So both Peter and myself, we play FPL. Well, we're looking at Peter's team first, and we'll be discussing how he did last week, along with the transfers that he's made and the predictions he's got. Then we'll look at my team and how I did, which I'm going to be honest, wasn't great last week, and what I've done to sort of help myself this week. And then we'll ask Azad for his one big tip, because he doesn't play FPL. And even if he wants to join this segment, he's not allowed because he's got no real passion there. I'm sorry, Azad. That's what it is.
That's fine.
So we're going to let Peter take control of the screen and show his FPL team and just talk us through what happened last week and what he's done this week.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, can everyone see this? Oh, no. Hang on a second. Please bear with me.
Got technical difficulties there, Pete. We all know about that.
I apologise.
Azad loves a good technical difficulty. Either his iPad's not charged, or there's always something.
It's all ironed out now, Shad. I like to
All
say.
right, fair enough, fair enough. I'll let you off.
Okay, can everyone see my screen?
We can see it. Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to review what happened last week. So this is my result for last week. So got a little bit lucky, I must say, because last week I took off James Justin and I replaced him with Tyrone Mings. But you could say I got lucky with this one because I didn't think Leicester were going to get a clean sheet over Tottenham. So therefore I got rid of him. And when I saw Villa playing against West Brom, who I thought who I was confident that Villa would get a clean sheet, I put Mings in. However, he got a yellow card. But still, 5 points is good enough. Chilwell, unfortunately, got injured early on during the game. But even though I wasn't confident, I was confident that Chelsea can get a clean sheet. So hence why Mendy and Chilwell are on my team. So and they have been for a good few weeks now. Vestergaard, he's a solid centre back that is capable of scoring goals. However, against City, I kind of knew that it was 50-50. But other than that, I had no other choice. So Vestergaard only got me 2 points. Ward-Prowse, however, I was hoping that Southampton would score against City, because he always takes free kicks and corners. However, he did nothing but got a yellow card. So that was disappointing for me. And these two are my gold dusts for my fantasy team, Bruno Fernandes and Mo Salah. I mean, you must get these two. I mean, if you want to win, like, these two are your cornerstones. So the only headache I had last week was who should I make captain? Because because Liverpool had Palace, and who did United have again? They had Leeds. Yeah, so both of them more than capable of assisting and scoring goals. But despite Salah being on the bench, he came on and then he started scoring goals. I'm not complaining at all. Son and Kane, unfortunately, let me down. So at home to Leicester, didn't do anything. So it is what it is. So 2 points it is. Calvert-Lewin, now, he's a weird one because he was on fire. He's capable of scoring goals, but he hasn't been scoring as much as we thought he would, but he is still providing assists. So kind of got lucky there. So was it an own goal, Shad?
Yeah, it was an own goal, because he got the flick on and then I can't remember who it hit.
Was it Holden?
I can't remember now for the life of me.
Is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goal?
Yeah.
Wow. His ghost goal last week. Yeah, it came off Holding. Holding got their own goal for that. It was qualified as an own goal.
That's right. Yeah. So thanks to Fantasy Premier League's generosity when they give assists for own goals and like when they get fouled inside the penalty box. Yeah. I mean, I got a bit lucky there, and likewise for Callum Wilson.
Never a penalty. It was never a penalty. Disgraceful.
I know, Shad. Like who sits on the VAR room and it just looks at it and goes, yeah, look, he falls over. Yeah, just give him. Yeah, sure. Just give him a pen for that. It's absolutely ridiculous.
What's sad for Fulham is they've now lost. I think Anderson's their captain, isn't it? And he's suspended because it's a straight red. Is that 3 games?
Who's this?
The Fulham centre back got a red card for it as well. So just sad. Sad. I just remembered that now, and great. I've made my Fulham prediction and I completely forgot about that. It's life. It's done. It's done. Sorry. Yeah, carry on.
And that is it for. So that was my team for last week. Now, this week, I hope I'm not regretting this, but I've made 4 changes.
Woo!
Yeah. So this is
only
my team.
A mug would make 4 changes. I wonder how many.
I know. Now, laugh at me all you want, but I kind of lost patience with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And instead, when I looked at Man United's next 3 games, which I believe are Leicester away, Wolves at home and Villa at home, I'll be like, look, you know what? United are going to be all guns blazing. Martial is now starting to get in the game. And of course, Bruno is Bruno. However, having said that, I put Rashford on because I can see Rashford doing something. I know there's games where he can score, he can assist, and then next game he doesn't do anything. But I took a gamble and I went for Rashford. Because I think if he doesn't do anything for Leicester, I could see him doing something against Wolves and maybe at Villa. So at opportunities like this, I thought to myself, do you know what? I need to have more than one United player in my team. So I went for Rashford and I got Bamford and I got rid of Callum Wilson simply because Newcastle's next games are City away, and they've got Liverpool at home and they've got Leicester at home. I know against Liverpool and Leicester they're at home, but still I could see Leicester and Liverpool doing some damage there. And with that, Callum Wilson may be a bit quiet. And yes, he may score like 1 or 2 goals, but yeah, I wouldn't count on it. Compared to Bamford, Leeds' next games are Burnley home, West Brom away, and Tottenham away. Can you see Bamford scoring goals against Burnley at home and West Brom away? Absolutely. Absolutely. So hence why I took a chance and got Bamford for that one. And who else did I get? Yeah, and I had to, and who else did I get rid?
I think Cancelo wasn't in, was he, last game?
Yeah, so Chilwell's injury has messed me up for this one, because I was going to keep him, but because of his injury, I don't see him playing for maybe a few games. We don't know exactly how long he's out for. But with City's next games, Newcastle at home, Everton away, Chelsea away. Not sure about Everton away or Chelsea away, but Newcastle at home, definitely can see a clean sheet there. And plus, with Cancelo, he may give you an assist or two. But if you look at previous games, yeah, he has been reliable. Him along with Ruben Diaz.
Interesting. I don't know about Cancelo. The reason why I wouldn't have put him in is because Guardiola likes to rotate the 3 fullbacks between Mendy, Cancelo, and Walker. So I don't know. You might regret that one. If he's on the bench, who's coming on for you as a sub? Kilman? I think Kilman's going to be the guy that comes on, isn't it?
Yeah, Kilman, yeah. And Souček, he's one of those that if West Ham if they get a free kick or, for example, they get a corner, then because he's tall, he can outjump anybody, and then bam, he can score goals. And then plus, we have seen many of those.
Yeah, we have. So that's quite a good pick. Who's your standout? Oh, you've gone for Salah captain.
No, triple captain. Triple.
Is it?
Yeah, triple captain.
I know you're a guest on the show, but that is a big statement. You think it's going to be the game week to put him in, yeah?
Yeah. Do you know what? I've never done this before. Normally, I would wait for FA Cup fixtures, and then there could be some game weeks where teams are playing twice. But I've done that last season. I put Sadio Mane on when Liverpool had 2 easy games. But then guess what? 15 minutes in, he got injured, and then I only got 3 points in total as a triple captain, and that was a real bummer. And I absolutely hate myself for it. But West Brom at home with Big Sam having to adapt, I can see another 5-0, 6-0, and I could see Salah doing collateral damage.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout, you know. I like that. I think they'll probably win a penalty or so as well, and he is the penalty taker. But even though do you know what? I want you to do well. I've got Salah as captain as well. Let him score those penalties. Let him score. I'm not going to be vicious and say, I hope he misses a penalty. That's just sad, isn't it? But that's an interesting squad you've got out. I like it. All right, so if you can stop sharing, I'll tell people about my nightmare week from last week. Okay. So people, I don't even know why I need to zoom out a little bit, I think. Last week, automatic substitution had Torres come in for Greenwood. Ooh. He did jack all up front. Mason Greenwood, man. I'm in so much pain. So my best mates have been taking the mick out of me. Robbie, Ashmore, Rashid, they're like, why are you bringing Greenwood in? He's shit. And every time they say that, it makes me want to bring him back in. I brought him in earlier on this season. He didn't do anything, so I took him out. I brought him in again this season. I thought, you know what, Legion Eye, that's a good fixture. Like, finally, Greenwood's going to turn up, going to get me some goals. He wasn't even in the squad. Like, what's that all about? Why is he not in the squad bagging me a brace? Oh, man. And then just to watch Fernandes get 2 goals and an assist, and like, everybody was just having a laugh, weren't they? They were having fun at United. It killed me inside, I'm not going to lie. Salah was buzzing because I saw half the players in this league here who be the new king, have him as captain, and I was like, yeah, you know what, he's on the bench, I've got him in my team, but you know, I'll take it. I'll take him not doing well just so that other people suffer. Mate, comes on, bangs in 16 points. You know what it's like life is tough, it comes at you fast. I got the Villa boys, Martinez and Target, they both got me 6 points each, can't complain there, and I got 10 for Grealish, so they probably, I wouldn't say they saved my game week. I know the average was only 60, but 62 points. They didn't save my game week. What did kill me off was having Harry Kane as captain. He missed his header. He missed his chance. Him and Son also had an opportunity where they played it down the left-hand side, and Son didn't cut it back for Kane. I was like, you absolute prick. I know you want the Pushkas award, but it's no good to me, is it? It's absolutely no good to me. I got laughed at by Robbie and Ajmal again for putting Danny Welbeck in, but guess what? He's back. He's no Carlton Cole. He watched the show and he said, you know what, Shad, I'm going to get 3 bonus points on top. Look at that. 3 bonus points. Big man, Danny Welbeck. And then just to top it off, Calvert-Lewin with that cheeky assist that we've already discussed. Bit of a shame that Arsenal scored. Otherwise, I think Everton's defense looks mean again. And I've put in Godfrey there. So I said only mugs make 4 transfers. Let's have a look at my team this week. Let's go into the transfer history. That's right. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4 transfers. I'm a mug as well. Don't worry about it, Peter. You and me were the same. It's all right. It's all right. So what have I done? I took Chilwell out at 6.2 milli. He was too much. I brought him in at 5.5, so I've cashed in. And I brought in Joel Matip. He better not be rotated against West Brom. I'll be absolutely fuming. Cheap Liverpool player at 5.4 mil. You've got to bring him in. Look, he's got 14 points, 1, none, 9. So if he plays, you know, Liverpool look good, and clean sheet incoming against Crystal Palace. I think I predicted a Palace victory, so I'm going against myself here, which is a bit silly, really. But if anyone's going to keep a clean sheet, it's not going to be Rob. And Ben Godfrey, I'm not 100% sure if he will or not, won't. James looks like he's struggling. So if anyone's going to come on for James, it's going to be Godfrey for me. So Matip's come in. I brought in Burke. And the reason why I brought in Burke is because he was at 4.3 mil. So I've already made 0.1 mil on him. Way! Classic Shad getting in the value. So look, he got an assist against United. Wilder changed his attack round, took Fleck off, brought him in. He's a winger. He gets forward. He's quite quick. He's nippy. They did the swap trade for Callum Robinson earlier on this summer, and I think he's embedded into the squad now. So Burke might do something. Grealish, quality player. You've got to keep him if you've got some value in him. I think I picked him up at, I don't know, you know, maybe 7.1 mil. So, you know, struggling to take him out at the moment. I'm not going to talk about Salah. He's obvious choice for captain. Sonaldo, he got rested, didn't he? Came on in the 45th minute, but he didn't start. And Tottenham are playing the last game of the game week, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. I've taken the hit. I've taken Greenwood out, and I've brought in Fernandes. I've used the cash. I've splashed the cash. You know, if you don't have him, well, I messed up. I took him out earlier on this game this year, so I thought I was justified because I took him out before Chelsea and Arsenal. And then he went bam, 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 bam. And then again, bam. It's just, yeah, he's just too good, isn't it? So I brought him back in at 11 mil. I'm paying the price, paying my dues. I don't know why Peter took out Calvert-Lewin. I have no idea why you've taken him out. It'll score against Sheffield United. It'll torment that Manchester City defence. Great battle against West Ham United. I think he'll bully the players at Wolves. I'm going to be honest. I think you've made a horrendous decision there. I would have kept Calvert-Lewin in. Danny Welbeck goes on the bench. So something I have done, and I'm a visionary, people. I brought in Rob Holding. Man bagged -1 point last week, and I brought him in. And you're probably thinking, what is this guy doing? 4.4 mil, cheap for an Arsenal defender. I think Arsenal's luck is going to turn, but after the Chelsea game, he did hit the crossbar. I think it was against Southampton. But look at these fixtures: a 2, a 2, a 3, a 2, a 3. And you look at Brighton and Hove Albion, team without confidence. West Bromwich Albion, team without confidence. Crystal Palace, I'll probably bench him. Newcastle United at home. Callum Wilson, I don't think he's going to do it. So that is why I brought in Rob Holding. Those are my transfers. I brought in Holding, Fernandes, Burke because I needed the cash, and Matip. So, Azad, we're going to go to you. Give us your one tip for this game week. What have you come up with? Have you come up with anything special? You've gone back onto mute, so we can't hear you.
Yeah, so very interesting from you two.
Just tell us your tip, man. Come on.
Well, I've gone from Che Adams. Now, let me explain my rationale behind it. So Danny Ings is out, okay? So he's out with a hamstring injury. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. However, what I could say about Che Adams, he's got 4 assists so far and 4 goals in 14 appearances. He started all games for Southampton. Now, he's not been that influential for Southampton in terms of assisting and goals, but he's created big chances for them. However, what I need to say with Che Adams, he needs to step up to the plate. He needs to keep the ball better. If he does, he will improve his game big time. He's already matched his last season's goals tally in half the games. So, if you put him in for this week and the next week, you might be able to gain some points. But Che Adams is my big tip for this week.
Thanks very much. So I'm going to go on to look at the classic leagues that I'm in, and I'm going to focus on a special league. It's called Who Be the New King. Now, the boys in this league, they are just taking the mick. I had not a great week, but I had an okay week. Still above average. But look at these boys. I mean, nobody in the group really likes Wakanda FC because the kid is just running away with it. He's 307th in the world. How did he get 902 points? When you look at that, you're just thinking, what the hell? I mean, we don't like him, but it's just what it is. He just cried, he cried and he left the group chat. But look at the rest of the boys: 86, 95, 96, 82. We've got an 87. We've got another 94. My arch rival, Dapsy, David Fasoro, Fash London FC. Buy some shoes from him, people. Fash London, okay? But how is he? Oh, man, he's got Fernandes and Salah. What is going on? And he had Grealish and Wilson to pick up the point. Even Kyle Walker. What did Kyle Walker do? 2 bonus. Oh, gotta be kidding me. But special shout out to my boy, Fash London, Dapsy. He has smashed it. He's my arch rival, and he's finally come back into the group chat. He was non-existent for the first 14 game weeks, but now that he's overtaken me, this is the person we'll be focusing on every single week. Let's see how he does next week. It'll be interesting to see the team he picked. But you just look at that league: 71 points, 83, 82. Look, we got in 19th place. Oh, man, 85 points. This is just nuts. But a special shout out to Batuna 19, Taku. Brother Taku, still doing shit. Absolutely horrendous. He's the worst, isn't he? I love it. Absolutely love it. He took -4 points as well, and he still only got 59 points. If we go back to here and you look at the league table on Who Be the New King, it's fantastic, isn't it? Look, oh man, is that even real? I don't understand. Is he really on 597 points? There must be a mistake there, surely. Nope, there's not. He's still not reached the 600 mark. So there you go, everybody. Life could be worse. You could be Brother Taku here. But I'm going to wrap up the show with that. So I'd just like to thank you, Peter, for making your first ever appearance. Azad, once again, he's your boss for football. And thank you very much to everybody who's been watching the show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with your friends, your family, your granddad, grandma, your uncles, your mates at work, whoever. I don't care. just ask them to watch this show, because they might have an opportunity like Peter to come on and give us a little bit of wisdom. So that's all I've got to say. Thank you very much, everybody. And until the next time, stay safe and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.